We have 15 people in the audience already. Good afternoon, folks. Tommie Jane here. And let me finish my greeting in the chatter. We have Rusty here, who he bills himself as a child abuse prevention advocate. He has no credentials. I'll let Rusty tell you what his experience, his work experience is, what he knows about all of the things that Kiwi Farms accuses me and many other people of being falsely, and why these are false accusations today. That's where we're at. There are. I've closed down the Discord. The only thing I have open right now is my Gmail and my Twitter. There's 8. I think we can take up to 10 in the Hangout. People are welcome in the Hangout. I can take 10 more, 9 more, 8 more in the Hangout, and you can tweet at me. Right? I'm looking at anything else right now. I'm kicking back and just gonna let this unfold, because this is, I am an established artist, and I do have a global audience. I gain new followers just about every time I tweet at something that's like really volatile going on. People go, "Oh, look at that," and I get a new follower. And a lot of times I'll look, and they've got 30,000 followers. So excuse me for surviving. But yeah, I am, as somebody said, a powerful old boomer. Totally power the people too. I'm a complete failure in the corporate reality. Total fucking failure. I never got in, never really tried hard. Had some stuff that I did for my family and friends' families when I was younger. I worked for the University of Texas. There's a person, there's a channel that, there's a channel where they requested that I call Josh out as a feeder. Well, I won't say what the username is. I'll just say that they asked that I called out Josh as a feeder because it bothers him a lot for people to know that he's got a fetish for fat chicks, and he tries to make them fatter. That was. So if it's that forum, yes. If it's any other one, probably not. Good afternoon, Jesse.
Good afternoon, kind sir.
Is this was that you, Rusty, or somebody else here now already?
Yeah, that's somebody else. That's somebody here.
Oh, okay. Somebody's just joined on their own without asking us. What kind of crap is that?
Well, let's talk to the guy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's Jesse. Are you the same Jesse in the chat at the screen?
Yes, I am.
Well, greetings.
My greetings. Oh, your favorite dad doesn't believe you're the same person as in the Discord.
Well, I'd rather not use that username. No, I'm kind of wondering how somebody could just enter this call without being invited.
Oh, I can solve that riddle for you. You posted the link to the Hangout live in the Discord.
I see.
So anyone who wants to join can just do that if they want.
Got you. I was unaware of that. That's cool then. That's fine. We got the controls to boot you if we don't like what you're saying, don't we? Because
yes, you should have that response.
Okay, so we're cool. Welcome. What do you want to bring us?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I have a couple of jokes to tell you.
Something tells me it could be the last 2 things you say in front of me.
I mean, I could just tell them, and you can judge for yourself.
Well, I mean,
wait a second. Guys, I introduced myself. You did do the introduction. I just want to explain where I came from. That's okay with you, Jesse, real quick?
Yeah,
sure. Go ahead.
Let us stay on topic.
Okay. What happened was I was really sick in 2017, and I am the child of 2 child sexual abuse survivors, and they never really got therapy until after I left the house. So, like, I know a ton about things that child sexual abuse survivors go through, right? And when I was sick, I got on Twitter and I met a non-offending, a person that identifies himself as a non-offending.
Hi, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a non-offending anti-contact pedophile. And I always assumed that if somebody had the attraction of children, they were destined to act out on it. And I learned that they don't always do it. I've done a ton of research since I met him, and I just defend the right of somebody to get some type of counseling or whatever they need to not harm a child. Because until they do something, you can't punish them, right? And doing the research, I found out that roughly 60% of the people that molest children, or anyway, don't have any actual attraction to a child. So addressing that is one of the things that I do. I want age-appropriate child sex ed, where we teach children if they're touching appropriately, they come forward, so it doesn't happen again with the offender. That's about it. So, what's your jokes, James?
Well, I feel it would be somewhat inappropriate for me to, after that introduction, to just go ahead and tell some jokes. So I think I'll skip on that.
Oh, yeah, like I'm not sensitive.
Thank you, Jesse.
No, I'd really rather not. Maybe, oh, it seems Josh is aware, Josh the feeder is aware of the invite link. However, he seems to be a little pussy bitch and not join, but, oh, pardon my language, I'm sorry.
No, go for it, go for it. I'm a classy lady who says fuck a lot.
Pussy bitch, join the fucking stream.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, there's an old hippie adage that says, "Thou shalt not, you don't judge not, because thou art also a fuck up." You know, these people are trying to like destroy my entire life. You know, they have stated their objective to see me in the street eating garbage again until I'm dead, and they're hoping that I'll either kill myself or they'll stimulate somebody to kill me. And they've currently got a total fucking psycho that I do have an order. I'd like to read the order to you all, because he hasn't received it, and he has been invited to come and pitch his thing to Rusty. You know, this is Rusty's show actually. I'm just hostess. You know, you're Rusty. This is Rusty's show, and a person calling himself James Tarisho, who allegedly that's not even his name, is an injunction against harassment. And the warning to the defendant: this injunction shall be enforced even without registration, which means if it hasn't been served, and I'm holding it when he shows up, it will be enforced by the courts of any state, the District of Columbia, any U.S. territory, and may be enforced by tribal lands crossing state, territorial, or tribal boundaries. To violate this injunction may result in federal imprisonment. Federal law provides penalties for possessing, transporting, shipping, or receiving any firearm or ammunition, which is something he's like proud of doing. He's got Second Amendment bumper stickers all over his raggedy ass old motorhome with the blown exhaust manifold, and no sanitary facilities for the kid to go in, so the kid sits in the alley.
And how do we know this? What you're saying about him? How do we know that?
How do we know what?
That he lives in a motorhome with Second Amendment bumper stickers.
Oh, I've got pictures of it.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Okay. I got pictures of the whole thing. He's been streaming the shit. I got pictures of that. I didn't catch him with the kid in the alley. I just saw him coming out of it. But I have pictures of all that.
No, one of the things that happens with the non-offending, they use the term minor attracted person, and they're on Twitter. And one of the things I did when I met the non-offender, anti-contact non-offender that I met, is I trolled them. I opened a new account, pretended to be a person at risk of offending, and they all sent me toward either a counseling peer support group or this other place that just has therapists that deal in that. So that's the reason why I defend them on Twitter so vigorously, is because I know they're telling the truth for the most part. You know, I know most people I talk to are telling the truth.
Well, when somebody is accused comes to you,
people that identify as minor attracted, which you have people that are attracted to prepubescent kids, and then kids going through puberty, and kids out of puberty but below the age of legal consent. Anyway, they're on Twitter, and they're a support group, and they have a few places where they gather to talk about how they manage whatever they have. You know, I know that's what they do, so that's the reason why I defend them. They're trying to protect themselves from doing something wrong and protect children, because if they can stop doing anything, a child's not home. If that makes sense.
I'm sorry, I was distracted and I didn't hear you, to be honest. Somebody had engaged me in the chatter. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, no, anyway, all I'm saying is the anti-contact, non-offending, minor attracted people, there's some people faking being anti-contact, but for the most part, they are there as a support group to keep each other accountable and not harm children.
Well, that's my understanding. After I get tired of the discussion, yes, I will play some music for sure. I'm sorry. I got people in. I've got people in the audience in the chatter getting my attention. So
okay, well,
let me just respond to what you were saying with my understanding, though, before I take it back and we talk to the people in the chat or something. You know, I've said I have an uncle who is minor attracted, but he knows full well that it's wrong for him to like touch any, and he reports child porn when he sees it. And he saved 2 kids. He said pulled one out of the drink that was like his stepson for about 10 years, and he another one he just ran off a guy who was trying to lure a little girl into a van in a park. So, and I have a cousin. I have a cousin who's like got in a little trouble for it, and it should be recognized as a behavioral health issue with most of those people, where you have trouble and real harm being done to children is the sex traffickers and the manufacturers of child porn and the consumers of child porn. Everybody else should be treated as a behavioral health issue.
Well, even consuming child porn, it is part of a porn addiction. I'm trying to think of I'll see this and I'll post links in the comments on the YouTube. But most users, I think it's 85%. Don't quote me on it, but it's around there. 85% of child porn consumers don't actually get aroused by pictures of children. It's just a progressive thing in porn addiction where they go from, regular porn and progress to child porn. And yeah, I think it is 85%. But anyway, that's still a behavioral health issue. It needs to be criminalized because there's a victim in viewing that child porn. That child is victimized by the viewing of the child porn and the distribution of it. But the person that gets there, they need treatment. They need to, you know, do some jail time or whatever. But it is part of an addiction. You know, it is part of that addiction. And 80-some% of the time, it's not actually a person that's attracted to children.
You know, I really don't know. So, you know, I'm pretty much, you know, the way my life has been, most of it is I'm pretty agender and asexual. And 99% of what these people are saying I'm about, particularly this asshole kind surprise, that's probably Parisho. Hi, Polly. Hey, Doc. These are things, they're projecting their own perverted fantasies on me. You know, I'm really pretty agender and asexual because of the way my life has been. And
yeah.
The 1% that they're using are distortions of real facts from my life that I told you about earlier that I'm not even going to speak about. I'll let you speak to it when it comes up.
Yeah. Because I advocate that people get help.
Hold on a second. Kind surprise. You're obviously a Rain Bonehead. Okay? If you'd like to identify yourself as somebody I actually know, that's up to you. I doubt you will because you're a coward hiding behind an anonymous account. I'm going to cook later, but not on the air. I have a chicken and some spinach and veggies and potatoes and I don't know what I'm gonna make. Hopefully I won't be too sick to eat. Well, see here, this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of like the kind of shit that goes on. Here's this Rufus Gomez. And Alex Jessamine going off about, well, I'm not even going to read this shit. You're going to read it yourself in the chat. Well, I'm not too concerned about black magic. Thank you. I have some pretty good protection. I mean, I got a couple of tails right here, hand in hand. If I need to amplify my thoughts, I got a smoky root heel here and a black tourmaline. I won't be responding to the Herb 13 at all because he's one of the people that's named in the criminal complaint. Oh, I'll be glad to burn some sage. I do that all the time. I probably should right now. You're right. Especially since there's obvious enemies here.
So I need to ask, Tommy, how do they find out your identity exactly?
Well, see, this is the core of the issue. Real Things has been online off and on since 1985 and online full time when I can keep a computer from getting blown up since 1999. Is what yeah, so like the main issue is that this is a ground station. My cohorts are easy to find. I'm running a business here and it's totally up and up. I have no sock puppets anywhere. Anything I'm hiding behind is me. And I rarely have more than one account at a time at any platform. These guys are all just projecting their own fucking deviant behavior at me.
Well, I understand. It's I told you about my stand-up comedy. I do stand-up comedy. Yeah, and some of my premises are like so far out there that I worry about the trolls finding them. But I can easily defend every premise because every person has experienced something similar to what I talk about. They're all based on true stories. And when I talk about them to people in person, like, oh yeah, that happened to me. So I'm not as worried about it as I was months ago.
Well, I've been taking it for 20 years. and
You've been what?
I've been taking this shit for 20 years, man. They used to call me Tommie the terrorist at AOL. the early autos, I uncovered a ring of white nationalist sex traders that were connected to scam.com in 2005, and it's just been getting steadily worse every year.
Wait. Repeat that. I'm sorry.
Are you? Well, where do you want me to start?
No, the sex traders. Just explain that again.
Oh, yeah. I just kind of stumbled on this connection. I forget exactly how it went down because I don't look at much porn. I think I seem to recall that it looked something got my attention because it looked like the model was like really like scared out of fucking mind. And I followed something and it ended up connected to the owner of scam.com. And it was a ring of white nationalists, sex slaving.
Oh yeah, that happened. That
happened. And then when I mentioned it, they blew up my computer. That's a famous story that the trolls tell that they think is totally ridiculous because my father was working for power management equipment manufacturer, telecommunications data processing power management, the big backup batteries that called UPS and power conditioners, surge protection, all that shit. And I had a big stack that they blew from. They had a real big stack, and it drew. They burned the graphic controller, just knocked my eyes out. Just bam, just what they send a signal down that just ends up as too much power somewhere, and it burns components, and it killed the graphics adapter, and that's when it dumped everything to ground. It snapped the neighborhood breaker, which it wasn't real big. It's only a 2-can box, so it just snapped the breaker.
Okay.
Hey, we were talking about minor attracted persons earlier, but Tommie, aren't you one as well?
Say what again?
We were talking about MAPs or minor attracted persons.
Well, actually,
but aren't you one as well?
No, I'm not attracted to anybody. I told you I'm kind of asexual.
Before 2000, I forgot the exact year. You talked about a story where you fingered an underage girl, didn't you?
Well, I'm not going to be responding to that because whatever you have read has been doctored.
All right.
You know,
okay.
I've given my statement on that to Rusty if he wants to respond to it. There was no fingering of any girl.
But let's say there was. The girl was 16, right?
She was not quite 16.
Okay, let's say she was 16. I think, and I'm going to just explain this, I wouldn't get involved at age 28 with a girl 16 to 18, actually 16 to 30, because they're immature. But 32 states have a age set at 16. And what you described to me was, it might have gotten you federal registry, but it probably wouldn't have. It would have been dismissed. And if it was prosecuted, you'd be a tier 1 offender, with 3 being the worst. But you know, it's 32 states have the age of consent of 16. You know, and I don't know at what age a child can consent. I know people in their 30s that I don't think can consent to sexual activity. I mean, they have sex regularly, but I don't think they have mental capacity to actually consent to sex.
Well, it's something that needs to be viewed on case by case basis. And you know, they got me raging one day, and I said, hell, if a 1 down to 9 can convince the judge, it has to do with sexual and emotional development, I'm not gonna speak to the specific one that they're accusing me of because I have so many times. So I don't want to just add to the fire for them today.
Jesse, did my response make sense to you?
I would like to add to that there's more than just the legal problem there. It's also an ethical one. But
I agree 100%.
Well, let me address the ethics too. You know, there's a whole argument that says the these rigid moral standards are arbitrary outcome of good old-fashioned patriarchal white male supremacism. Most of the rest of the world that does, most of like Central Europe, for instance, is 16, 15, or 14. In the Orient, it's as low as 12.
And I'm not going to respond to that. I had actually a lot of women when I was 16 that were in their late 30s to late 40s, and I could consent to sex. That wasn't a big deal, but emotions are intertwined with sexual activity, and I couldn't handle like playing on the emotions at that age.
Well, that's what I was saying about. It's not just physical maturity, but emotional maturity, and that's why there's a definite real problem with precociously promiscuous teens ruining the lives of men that either didn't know any better, because you told me that one real elaborate ruse with the 14-year-old girl with the tattoo.
Yeah, the 14-year-old girl with a tattoo that was in a bar drinking. That guy shouldn't have been able to be prosecuted because he was acting in good faith. She was in a bar where you have to be 21 to get into. She had a fake ID and she had a tattoo, which I thought forever that indicated the girl was over 18. And I found out from research as we talked that you can get a tattoo in a lot of states at 13 with parental consent.
Yeah.
That's messed up because, Jesse, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, about the tattoos, you mean? Or...
No, what I'm saying, do you think that guy had any reason to assume that girl was underage?
Well, it's quite a difficult conundrum, as we call it, right? In this age nowadays, I would just ask for ID, to be quite honest with you, because otherwise you're going to get me too.
In this day nowadays, I want to see a fresh certificate saying they're STD free.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, you need that nowadays, don't you?
Yeah, no, but you understand the reason why I say the guy should have been prosecuted, Jesse? Because she did have an ID. Check her ID; it's fake.
Yeah. Well, it's quite difficult because, say, you get a case in the future where a guy puts someone up to craft the fake ID, and then you can use that as evidence later, like, oh well, I didn't know.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You know, but yeah, I believe the story just because of the fact that, I know where the guy is. I know him personally. I don't think he would have done that. He'd been too scared to. But there's times when stuff happens with people have to get paid. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been punished at all, but I understand why what happened, and he shouldn't be punished like somebody that went out and intended to do it. And intent's a big thing with like crime,
It's very hard to prove, however.
Yeah, it's very hard to prove intent, but there's cases where intent's clear. You know, guy goes to a preschool or to a middle school and is hitting on women. And there's a difference between a guy that needs to grow in a bar.
Like Roy Moore.
Like, if there's such a, when they lie about the age, it does feel like it's not on the same level at all. Of course, it's just a very difficult issue. I think I'm just gonna tell the jokes I saved. First, I want to, and then I'm gonna leave. And then first, I want to say, Frank, you seem like a very nice person. I'll just tell some jokes I think the audience might enjoy. Oh, okay. Why do Jewish men get circumcision? Because our women want us anything that's not 20% off. Ooh, what do you call a cheap circumcision? A rip-off. I had an uncle who worked as an elephant circumcisionist. The pay was awful, but the tips were huge. Okay, so mate, you're a fucking pedophile. Kill yourself. Frank, you seem like a very nice person. All right, see ya.
There's a perfect example of the depth of racism, sexism, and dishonesty of the average sociopath who trolls me or any other individual. Yeah, sure will. Sure will.
Yeah. Is anybody else on the call?
No, not that I know of. These are like sociopaths. They project their own perversions on people. Most of them, you know, they love to take things people say out of context. Yeah. You know, for instance, and not one of them has a clue about the Goldwater exclusion. They're all a bunch of fucking
Goldwater.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of Sigmund frauds who want to make psychiatric diagnoses over the internet based on a couple of comments from people, and it's just like the most unethical thing that psychologists can do.
Yeah,
and it arises something with Barry Goldwater. I don't remember the details. I mean, it's so important to them that when Hitler started showing that he was totally fucking bonkers, that that they were, you know, concerned about that. And I guess there was a statement from somebody that said, "Well, we need to make an exception for this one."
Oh, Barry Goldwater was not the same. That's what, you know, I remember Ronald Reagan. People talk about his Alzheimer's like he was president. I can tell you from dealing with Alzheimer's patients, he had very little, if any, symptoms at the time. And the arguments by the extreme left that he had dementia and whatever during that time. I've watched several hours of Reagan speeches, and he was not demented when he was president.
Okay, Ralph, time out. I need to clear this. I need to clear the demons out of here. I'm getting a little bit of a headache on the side of my head.
You have asthma?
No, I have dust and pollen difficulties. My brain is female, and they did something to my stuff down there that's got the nerve endings in all the wrong places, and the wrong hormones coming at my brain, and I have terrible metabolic problems. Yeah, I've always had, and I don't make it any better by smoking.
Yeah, I'll send you some links like vitamins you can take, supplements you can take.
I take all sorts of shit. I have a steroid that I put up my nose when it's real bad. I'm supposed to do this upside down or right side up because it's not going. My lighter's empty, and you're not supposed to use the lighter to light the sage. So I use the lighter to light the match, but the matches are like the striker's fucked up, so I have to use the lighter to light the match. But the lighter's empty, so excuse me for, you know, I'm just not. it's like, you know, we're all clowns. We're all so fucked up on this world. And if you can't like just roll through the bullshit, you're just gonna make yourself insane.
Yeah. No, I have anyone else. I have either PCS or the early stages of CTE, or there's
I don't know those acronyms.
PCS is post-concussive syndrome, and I forget what it is for CTE, and I forget the other one, but I have minor brain damage from skiing, basketball, football.
Oh, you were talking about that the other day. Go ahead.
Anyway, I take a supplement from a health food store, which is a derivative of lion's mane, which is a cousin to psilocybin. And I was on 17 medications at one time. I'm not on any except for a supplement for lion's mane.
Ah.
So, yeah.
That's cool. You know anything about Chiari?
Are there any other questions or people calling in?
Yeah, but nothing like worth asking you.
Well, no, if they seem ridiculous, I can still answer them.
Well, there is one that they want answered that we don't have to show. I have spoken about how I cope with gender dysphoria, and in there, I spoke about how at one time, and no time like real recently, and you know I don't hardly look at anything anymore and don't masturbate nearly as much. I would use visual aids to visualize myself in the same form, which I don't believe is quite the same as pedophiles, the way what pedophiles are seeing when they're looking at pictures of underage children.
And most of them don't. Most pedophiles I know don't look at images of underage children. But no, I didn't know you were trans till just now.
Oh, yeah, I'm intersex actually. You just
You're what?
I'm intersex.
Okay, so what's your pronoun? They, them, or something?
She, her, they, them. If you can't handle it, and I insist that people don't ever call me Tom, sir, buddy, pal, any of that shit. You know.
Well, I call women buddy. I call women buddy. It's not.
Yeah, Tommie or sister are my two preferred labels, followed by she or her. Miss Jane works. Miss Tommie works. Auntie Tommie for the youngsters is good. But no, I'm not a male. Somebody asked me in one of my videos, "Are you a man or a woman?" I said my answer was both, neither. I have male junk, but the rest of me is female.
Yeah, see, I get like if you want to be called
not lately. The last one got threatened off. Yeah, okay, whatever you say, Alex. I don't know who you are, and I don't want to know. So goodbye. You know, it's just that simple. I don't want to. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. These people are trying to bury me with bullshit that they've imagined and extrapolated from things that happened before they were ever even fucking born. So why should I even lower myself? Why should I demean myself to even acknowledge their presence?
Okay. Well, what do you think about the non-binary pronouns, the 70-something that are there, like?
Oh yeah, here's yeah, we have you know, here's where they try to they really want to harm me. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. Young people are always wanting to know something I know, and nothing about the interactions is sexual. And very often their parents will be aware of it and be friends too. I've watched a young transgender girl since she was 15, and I'm good friends with her mommy. So fuck you with that shit.
Okay. But the 72 or what it was 72, I think now it's 86. non-binary pronouns. What is your opinion on them? Like,
what is my opinion on what?
The non-binary pronouns, like
well,
Z.
My rap on that is that demanding equal rights is noble, but demanding special treatment is being an asshole. And for non-binary people, they or them, it is just fine. You don't need to make up new words.
Okay, yeah, I'm confused, Matt. Like, I took a test.
I did put it to him. It's insignificant. It's a ridiculous accusation and projection of your own fucking pedophilia at me, Michael Scott.
Wait.
Now, Michael Scott,
okay,
he is dear Tommie's friend. Why does Tommie seemingly have a history of speaking to youths online, such as Savannah Ellis, Lanny Kastner, and Slutastic Trans Girl? It seems this is not one instance. And my response to that is I've got several minors that come in my chat on the streams. I'm an artist. Minors are interested in me. There is nothing inappropriate about my relationship with them. And I do demand to meet the parents with people like Savannah, who I'm actually giving lessons to.
Okay, but no, they're claiming a minor attraction, and you still have your male part.
They're claiming a minor attraction, and I still have my male parts. Let me speak.
Okay.
I never had a minor attraction. I said, let me speak, please. I'll just terminate the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
I never had a minor attraction. I never had any attraction. People had to make me feel attracted, make me feel love before I would become aroused. My entire life. I'm not finished.
Yes.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
I can hear you wanting to speak. I'm an artist. I'm an educator. I have absolutely no sexual interest in anybody. If somebody falls in love with me, they're going to need to fucking convince me that it's safe to love them. Okay? So anything else you may think about me on the basis of anything I've said or you've observed, this is my last word. It's not true. It's projections or denial of your own depraved fantasies.
Okay, can you let me?
No, I'm done. I'm done. This is, I told you, it's your show.
No. God, what I said was you don't have any minor attraction.
No, I don't.
You still have, yeah, and you still have you thought about taking a test and having a public whether you're minor attracted or not? If you're not minor attracted, they can fucking test if you're minor attracted.
Where does one go to get that?
Huh?
Where does one go to get that? Because these people are serious enough. I feel like I need to have a letter on me because they're informing my whole fucking neighborhood of this.
Can you give me a day or two to like send you places where you can go?
Yeah.
They have. Yeah. Okay. I never said you're minor attracted. What I said is they're claiming that you're not, and that you can have a test done to see if you get aroused by minors, and that's how you can tell. Like a certain percentage of people that commit child sexual abuse are not minors.
Well, I would be glad to go and take somebody's test because I'm not attracted to fucking anybody.
And the test will show that. I'm not saying you have to. You thought about it.
No, I want to. These people are committed to harm me. They're committed to destroy my life. And I'm going to walk into a fucking courtroom and destroy a bunch of lives that have been behind it real fucking soon. If the cops don't come and do it for me first.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going to let you go. I got company. Bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for coming. Well, shit. Now I can't even get this thing to work. Well, the streams have been okay. Oh, there we go. Yay. The stream, Israel. Hello, Israel. The stream was mostly okay. I made what points I wanted to make, and nobody really came in with anything like new or unusual. So since it's my floor again, let me clear the air here. And with the most heavenly Father and Earth Mother, please fill this space with interesting, kind, honest people who want to buy my rocks or hear my music. And leave tips for me at PayPal. Bless the people who have been kind and creative in my presence for you to view already. And you know, blessed were they in their coming, and blessed may they be in their going out. And this is my fake Jew message for the day. What do y'all want to talk about? We're done talking about anything you want to accuse me of. Categorically deny it, and anybody who wants to anybody who wants to bring it back is just going to be hidden on the channel immediately. We're nice people here. Nice people only. I run a troll-free zone. I don't care who you are, what your political belief is, what your religious belief is. If you're a nice person, you're welcome. If you're not, bye. Ooh, I'm kind of cramped in here, but I can't. I'm too cramped to get. Okay, well, if it hurts your ears, I'll fix that for you. Bye. Really, kids? I don't know what you've been told about me. Who was I speaking to there? Someone called Rusty something or other. He's the child of survivors of sexual abuse. Yeah, I am. I call myself an unorthodox Jew because my practice is a mix of Reconstructionist reform and Native American medicine way. Could be. Could be. I mean, we had talked at length at Discord a few days ago, and we're pretty much on the same page about all of this. You know, that there's, you know, minor attracted people are not always criminal just for being minor attracted. This is, you know, this is the flashpoint of the argument over pedophilia is that the majority of the pedophiles should be treated as a behavioral health issue rather than a criminal one. That's where it's at. Oh, here, let me give you, here's the, oh, well, he closed it. Good, I hope. Here. Give me, here's, send me, I don't have anything open right now that we can add you to. Just send me just send me something here, and we can hang out. Yeah, I'm not taking any calls. The phone doesn't work well for this hearing, and you know, they're flooding a phone that I got limited minutes on, and I'm not going to answer the fucking thing. Well, I never did keep Shomer Shabbos, and that's just the way it is. Religion is a way of life, and it's how your eternal spirit fits into your body and how it moves your body through time and space. And this is where I am. I love God before anything and everything else, and I love everything else as best I can until I can't take it anymore. And that's where I'm at. Was educated by Louis Binstock, the Temple Shalom, who was really an omnist that taught us to look for the best in all creeds, that to look for what's true and enduring, that and go with it. He encouraged interfaith, all sorts of interfaith stuff. We celebrate everybody's holidays together, and kids would come to the synagogue, and we go to the churches. But if you want to talk out loud, send me something there, and we can start a hangout. No, no, I'll embarrass myself with that. I would. I don't know. It's probably been several years before I actually played that. I would, but they're not made for playing what I play. They're more like for because you blow totally different. It's a more open-throated blowing. And that's about the best I can do to describe it. It just doesn't work real well for me. I'd like to have one just to be able to blow that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff is meditation music. It's good for, but you can't rip on one of those. Well, this is the block flute. This is ancient. This sucker's been around for thousands of years. In the Middle East, they're called Khalil. I like the transverse flute. I had a lot of nice flutes. I had a crystal pipe at one point that was just amazing tone, and the thing would ring out 5 octaves. Yeah, a little bit, not much. Not much. I never had any really good ones to play on, just some cheap tourist ones. Sometimes I mess around with 2 recorders. I got lucky on the crystal flute and caught a store closing where they were like blowing out all sorts of cool shit, and got it for like $25 or something. I got a alto here that my sax repair guy gave me for free because it had busted key and it wasn't really worth his while to fix it. But I could play it, I could play it with my hand, with my finger instead of the key. Yeah, it was a close. Yeah, it was a. I've tried to play those, and I don't know. I think you need teeth for that. Of course, I tried to play when I had teeth. I couldn't do it either. Guess what, Pedro? Anybody who calls me sir is instantly dismissed. Oh, actually, I'll give you a chance. I'm not male. So what else have you got to say? I don't play this thing much, so my fingers aren't hitting. My fingers are used to hitting the soprano. Man, I don't like the way it's closing for me. I'm waiting on Pedro to say something else. See whether he's staying or going. I use all sorts of different stuff, but yeah, I like that champa. That's one of my favorite stick incense. But as far as use any incense for any ceremony at all, just say it at the moment, or sweetgrass and tobacco and cedar, and if I'm going to do a Jewish ceremony, it's with frankincense, myrrh, and lavender. I don't know, and I've got some Palo Santo, but I just burn that, to actual ceremony. It varies all over the world. The champa is just the that's probably just one particular kind of. As a perfume, Doc champa as a perfume. No, I like amber best, and musk next. What else is good? Rose, and I'm all flower girl. There's I've seen some that's like really pungent and some that's real delicate. It varies. The oud. Isn't that a stringed instrument? We have, it doesn't play because it's not string right. But one of our partners, Ariana, has some kind of African banjo hanging on the wall. I'll probably fix the string, and it's only one string that's messed up. It's a cool little thing. I don't know what it's actually called though. Cool little instrument. probably should shut this down. Oh. I'll see if I can find some somewhere. Thank you for the tip. I probably should shut this down and start it up again. Nah, hell with it. I don't care. I'm really like feeling like a lot of military people get to feeling after like a couple of weeks of firefight, constant firefights. More out, more down. Don't really have much to say. So thanks for coming. I made my point today. And you know, I'll say it again about false accusations. You know, it's a great sin to be spreading false witness about somebody. And particularly in the case of people who are being targeted as pedophiles because of things that they may have said on the web or things they may have done years and years ago. Ask for proof. Always ask for proof. And I would be willing to go somewhere and take this test because I'm not attracted to anybody. I think it's called sapiosexual or demisexual. Somebody's always had to convince me that they wanted me before I'd become aroused. That's you know, I'll get a note from my fucking doctor. Hell yes, I will. Will you? Fucking maggot. This is my rabid chihuahua. Tell everybody about us, Herbie. Why would you? Because you're projecting your denial at me, you fucking pedophile. You wouldn't take any test. You wouldn't take a, yeah, right. You wouldn't take a lie detector test. Let's see, do you want to take a lie detector test together? I'll take the pedophile test together with you, asshole. Tell everybody what tell everybody what you know about me. Come on, please. Share it. Share it. No, I don't care what your opinion is about that. Please tell everybody what you think you know about me. Come on. My fans are waiting with bated breath. Come on in the hangout. Call me at Gmail. Call my Gmail account. Coward. You know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. I've said what I said. You have a single event from my deep past that you've distorted beyond any recognition. You know, okay, too. Yeah, there. You don't know anything else though, and I tell you, we've already established that neither one of those accusations is what you are actually accusing me of. You know, what I actually did and what you were accusing me of are two different things. So you could talk about that all you like. Go for it. Go tell what you think you know is true about that. Please. You know, all the sordid details, everything that you know. Come on, give it up, please. 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 Give me a great screen cap to take to the courtroom tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. How did I let her die? And how would I have any control over her, stopping her from dying? What a silly thing to say. People die all sorts of places. How am I to blame for her dying? You probably aren't. You're going off with some misapprehension what I said back then. How did I cause her to die? I was at the gem show when she died. She was in the company of her husband live when I left. Tom Kennedy called me. How the fuck could I help? I left her in the company of her husband when, and there was nothing like really terrible going on when I left. She was just a little bit like agitated. It's probably the right word for it. And so I left her with her husband, and I went to the gym show, and then I got a call from Tom Kennedy telling me there's an ambulance in my house. How the fuck could I have done anything about that? I don't remember. So next stupid accusation. What else are you gonna accuse me of? Can we talk about you buying your way out of felonies? That's total bullshit too. I was knocked into that stroller. I was trying to help the guy that couldn't hear that they were all screaming at, and then he freaked out and he stampeded and knocked me into the stroller. No, you want to play it like I knocked that thing over on purpose. Take it away. No, let's hear about the woman I allegedly hounded to death. You're just. You're just propagating bullshit. No, actually, it's helpful. I have all kinds of mucus flow problems in this region right here. And when I'm talking too much, I get a little too dehydrated. I wasn't hurt, and neither was the child. So move on. Next myth you're propagating, and you are the only person that connects to Kiwi Farms, A&B, and the Rainbow family. So what other myths do you want to tell before I dismiss you? I do. I do. I recycle it. There's so much of it. I'd be spitting all the time. How you don't see how what matters? You're intimately associated with it. You brag about making money behind it. Come on. And I really can't be talking to you. So bye. Yeah, I'm constantly swallowing mucus. That's part of the problem. It's always there. And if I get too dry, if I get too dehydrated, it gets caught here. No, it's just cycling water. I'll be honest. My endocrine system's messed up they messed my endocrine system up when I was a toddler, fucking with it. Hi, Sam. What are the questions about Savannah Ellis? Essentially, I forget what the situation was with her parents, but as I recall, I was in contact with the father at one point. She's just a young musician that I was like listening to her stuff and helping her with it, and that's it. There was we did something one time. We did a hangout, I guess it was, and there were some perverts in it, and I flashed my tit out. That's all. You know, they were hitting on Savannah, and I just got weird with it. But that was the only, you know, so what? Come on, give me a break. Yeah, there was nothing wrong there. You know, anybody wants to make something of that, it's just, you know, projecting your own meaniness at me. She's a musician. I think I might have just sent her a like a hi there, how you doing? No. Oh shit. This shit's not wanting to go out today. It's wanting to burn. Probably ought to take it in the backyard to burn it. Let it burn. Yeah, I don't think I should take it in the back or run around the house with it a little bit. It's wanting to burn. I'll be back in a flash. We're outside to burn. Because I had permission from her parents, her father. She had permission. You know, take it up with your own spirit. I'm an artist and educator. I have no sexual interest in minors. Minors have an academic interest in me. Anybody who thinks otherwise is just one sick motherfucker who's projecting their own demented deviance at me. Really tired of responding to fucking bullshit like this. But I did invite it today, so keep bringing it. You know, there's nothing. I have no shame. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah, I masturbate too much, but I got an excuse. My sex has been damaged from infancy, and I was forced to be something that my brain couldn't cope with real well. So I have a few little eccentricities, as it were. I'm not a danger to myself. I'm not a danger to others. I have reference letters if anybody wants to see them. What else? You know, we went to the hangout because we could play music together. You know, Next. There's 29 people here. How come the chat's not burning up? It usually burns up. 29 people working? That's, yeah, come on. Or, you know, do I have a real audience? You know, let me see some likes. You know, let me see some likes at least. If I can't see comments, let me see the likes. Well, I don't, I don't care what you think. I really don't. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this? You know, in this age of, you know, what you're talking about is people, both men and women, who hate themselves, and because of all the pain and abuse and shit that they've been. I don't care if you don't like the looks of a musician teaching a younger musician some things. Fuck you. Is there anything else you'd like to accuse me of about going into a hangout with a minor? You know, you're the one that seems to have the sexual issues. As I've said repeatedly, you need to make me think that you want me before I will become aroused at whatever age, no matter how fucking gorgeous you are. Okay? So stop projecting these assumptions on me for interacting with minors. The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with society that you even think that way? You got one more shot, Mr. Hoffman. to convince me not to just toss you, because you're trying to make something that was totally useful to both me and the child into something that is criminal. So take your best shot right now, man. Not at all. Goodbye. Next. I was a cute young blonde girl. I just had a dick, so I needed, and then I had to, and I wasn't able to develop properly because of it. I wasn't allowed to groom myself properly. So there are visual aids for me to help for self-visualization. I don't know. Ones that are talking too stupid get hidden. I really need to not be interacting with her because he's, Parisio gets taken, and he's next. What would you like to talk about, Israel? Or Giuliano? Not that much. Because there was a puberty thing. No, he's an idiot. He's a redundant idiot. And it's just giving me a headache. And I really, I thought I would have a guest for them to talk to, and I don't. I know it only hurts himself, but like I said, I thought I had a guest to talk to, and I don't. Anyway, back to Silverwolf's question. It's they were all in Tanner 2 or better. It's where my mental my break with what do we call it, arrested development, where my break with my mental age froze right about puberty. So that's what I'm looking for, is to just visual aids to help me see myself. Why didn't I smoke some weed before? I'm always smoking weed. Not usually, not underage ones. Never. Like I said, I report kitty porn when I see it. I report extreme BDSM when it looks like they're really fucking getting hurt, And I report kitty porn if I run across it. But I don't really look at much porn. I don't look at much of anything. Oh, Tyree, that was just a game. Well, most likely not. I haven't met anybody under about 35 lately that I'd have any interest in even talking to on that level. That's a question from Front Biscuit. So if a minor fell in love with you and proved to you their love was real, they were attracted to you and they could be trusted, would you believe them and would you be in a relationship with them? I see it sometimes. I haven't seen anything that looks like really kiddie porn in a long time. Long time. I see a lot of what they call non-nude erotic stuff that's real questionable show up all sorts of places. But I have never looked at anything other than for myself. I'd always use like fashion magazines. Yeah, well, I was hoping. Yeah, right, Ramsey. I was hoping that too, but it was all bullshit from the get-go. Yeah. Now, what I think what's a big problem is some of this non-nude stuff where there's creepy photographers running around catching pictures of girls at the beaches and at just different places. I was accused, I'm photographing at a festival, for instance, and some kids come into the viewer, and it looks like a good shot. I take it. I'm not creeping kids. There just happen to be some kids there. But there's people posting shit that whole albums full of this shit. That seems to be a little bit of a problem. I stumbled I stumbled across that kind of stuff when I'm looking for things for myself. But like I said, for me, I don't really like to use much because mostly I don't use anything. I just just kind of look at it and then close my eyes, and go off in my own space. Thanks. This one, there's two of them, and it's this one's turn to get washed. Well, they both need washing. This is the cleaner of the two right now. And they're all both getting kind of wore out, so I think it's time for a fresh one too. Yeah, well, it's still cool enough to wear. Once it gets no, I hadn't. That's a new one. Question was, had I heard of Rod Stewart child pornography? I don't see anything immediately come back. Let's see it. Carrie Mann was sentenced to 21 years in prison last year for creating child pornography. Inside the evil international trade in child pornography. And this is what came back when I put in Rod Stewart accused of producing child porn. Inside the, do you have a link to that by any chance? Because there's nothing coming back here. But there are some interesting ones. Here's a PDF of the limits of child pornography. This would probably be a good one here. This looks like something of interest to this conversation. This is called The Limits of Child Pornography. It's in a real journal, so I think I can only read you the abstract. Oh no, it's got the full text. But I'm not going to read it. It's long. Although the First Amendment ordinarily protects the creation, distribution, and possession of visual images, but the court has failed to define child pornography. Providing a clear definition of the child pornography exception to the First Amendment has become increasingly important because recent years have seen a dramatic increase in the penalties associated with the creation, distribution, and possession of child pornography. This article proposed that only if a child was sexually exploited or abused in the creation of the image. That's why they're trying to. They're making a lot of like highly erotic images of small children that are fully dressed. That they're trying to get around with that. This article proposes a clear definition that the circulation of an image might inflict privacy or reputational harm on the minor depicted should it be insufficient to categorize that image as child pornography for constitutional purposes. This proposed definition would place tangible limitations on child pornography prosecutions. It would prevent prosecutions in many cases where the minor depicted is above the age of consent, where the image was created through computer morphing, and where the image is the result of surreptitious filming. Would that we wouldn't want that? It would exclude where the image is the result of surreptitious filming or photographing of a minor? I think that should be like something that would be they get busted for. I think there's laws about it. I know Arizona has law against that's a very specific law about filming somebody surreptitiously naked. If you don't have permission to film them naked, you can get busted for it. Okay, back to where we were in the chat. I couldn't find anything on it. The Insane Clown Posse will also be named as part of the child pornography ring. Well, now you're getting close to the Rainbow Heads, because they're all accused of sex trafficking. And there's supposed to be bodies all over the country that okay, nobody important. Actually, my goal is to get some better laws enacted. I'm a gonzo journalist. I expect trolls in my life. I don't give a shit. No, they're all idiots, and they it's obvious that who's full of shit and who's not when they're around. So what's this? Is this the so that's a picture of what? Oh, they're producing underage furry bestiality porn. Okay. Woo. Woo. Okay. See, this is my assertion that all the people accusing me are like perverts projecting. Oh, that they do. Sneasel spends more time chasing me than I don't know. But I spend a lot of time doing things. This lighter is dangerous. Gotta be careful even lighting it for the first, lighting a whole joint. Yeah, this year is Real Things Artisans Cooperative Hippie Haven. I've been in business 35 years. My first post to the internet was in spring of 1985 from an x86 machine owned by one of my first partners. And you know, I'm nobody. I'm just a crazy old hippie Jew from Chicago, transgender hippie Jew from Chicago, and I'm Tommie Tooter, the whistleblower, and I've been Tommie Tooter, the whistleblower, since before the internet. And there's people who know me from before the internet, and anything these people are trying to paint me as on the basis of my stories is like just fucking Looney Tunes, and most people know that. So I really don't have to worry about those people. What I need to worry about is the gangs of organized cyberbullies like Kiwi farmers who are like responsible for death, suicides, lots of suicides, murders. You know, these people are trying to drive me either drive me crazy enough to kill myself, or convince somebody that I need to die and kill me for them. Or maybe even if they can get me prosecuted as a child molester for something I did 36 years ago that wasn't anything like what they're saying I did. Barry Gibbs 69. No, I don't. Have you got any? Can you necro links? Let me. I could unplug. No, that's the problem. So that was where I was headed, and I got distracted. I'm running a business. My name, address, and phone number have been on the web from the beginning, and I intend to keep them there, and I will not be like thrown out by a bunch, you know, or intimidated into making a bunch of bullshit up just because of a sociopath who are being paid to assassinate my character. And the more they do it, the more it drives people to me that see that, oh, well, Tommie's cool, and these guys are fucking full of shit. So that makes my case stronger. So that's eventually somebody's gonna go to jail. Hopefully sooner than later, because one of them's like closing in on me on the ground. Trying to inform the whole city that I'm a pedophile dog pucker based on his language comprehension deficiencies and a bunch of lies. So, I'm gonna just, since there's not, have I covered all the questions here? Oh, there's more shit here. They're producing underage furry bestiality porn. Lovely. I should invest into home security. Get a taser? We're cool. I have one. Well, I don't have a taser. I got a cattle prod. And these work real well. Stop people from getting too close. I'm not worried about it. Any day's a good day to die. I'm just not worried about it. My spirit's eternal, and this body's already, this is kindergarten. You use it. You use it like a thrust with it. Hit somebody in the nose or throat. You're gonna go straight down. Eyeball, you can go straight through their eyeball into their brain. I missed. A guy came at me one time. I missed. I gave him a bindi up between his eyes here, and I kind of convinced him to Do I plan on watching the Michael Jackson? No, I don't. I hope I don't have to like correct anybody that gets too out of line on that. I probably make sure I know what's in it. Michael Jackson was developmentally arrested. I have this from people close to the family. Michael Jackson was developmentally arrested. He saw those children as his playmates, not as sex objects. No way. He was totally abused as a child. No, I don't think sexually, but just emotionally abused. I don't know about the sexually. That's unclear if he was a survivor of that. But he was exploited and not treated well when he was young. And well, I don't know about that. I'm staying out of the autism thing. I'm not buying into it. I think they're trying to pathologize just human individuality. I don't think how many. I'm not familiar with that testimony. I don't know. I don't. I'm not familiar with it. Did anybody ever win a case? Like, what was the Hulk Hogan testimony for? Hello, Jiggle Right. Welcome. I may as well go try and find some music, some background music. But I'm just gonna sit here and see what people want to talk about until I get tired of doing that. I don't know.
Carry.
Shit.
French fries and beer are vegan, so you tell me. But seriously, the easy part for most of my clients who go vegan or vegetarian is cutting out the meat. What they forgot to include is
Cutting out the meat. I came up with a really good sandwich. Peanut butter with avocado, tomato, onion, chopped spinach. Oh, looky here. Somebody's tweener. Let's do this. This should be good. We have Sonny Gable doing some solo acoustic guitar blues songs from, no doubt, the 420 show.
here. Well, I'm tuning up.
420 show.
I got a band that's called Sonny and the Whiskey Machine, and we come from Durango, Colorado. We're going to be down here for the Folk Fest next month. Hopefully we'll have a couple of shows for you guys.
Just having trouble loading.
While we're in town on top of that. So head on over to our Facebook page or to whiskeymachinemusic.com and you can stay caught up with all the Whiskey Machine happenings. And again, thanks for having me tonight. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to do a song that's on our EP. It's about a woman who did I think it's the hardest work a woman's ever done. It's called the Shady Lady Blues. Like the man over
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll cut that. We have a latecomer. He's sniveling that he didn't get here in time for the debate. Somebody, let's see now. Let's back up here. Because I'm too. There's Reggie's Round Earth is telling us that, well, Hulk Hogan testified that Michael Jackson had a secret lover named Dan Youssef that he initially was dating when Adnan was only 11. And Hulk sued Gawker and won for being recorded secretly by his friend. Civil suit brought against Jackson by Dan Youssef's family. What was the verdict? No, I just wants to know. Of course, it's weird, but it wasn't for the reason of molestation. It's weird because he was developmentally arrested. Thought he was a little boy too. I don't even know what a sweet chin sandwich is, and I can imagine. But you know, I'm a saxophone player. We're like legendary cunnilinguists. And yeah, man, you missed the debate, but you know, I'll start it back up. Yes, I was mostly off the grid during those years. I pretty much stay off the grid anyway. You know, I'm real things. I only deal with real people in real time. Otherwise, I'm like just the cartoons. I guess not. I don't. He never called today, or if he did, I wasn't answering on the phone. Didn't come to the, you know, any kind of left. He's in custody. No, they had a few people try to, you know, they had some guy come on the chat and play along, come on the hangout for a while, play along, and then you know, just, you know, yell at me for being a pedophile and run away. That guy's gonna get thrown down. You know, I gotta wait until tomorrow morning and check with Peterson. And that's where that's at. I just won't let it worry me. You know, like that Tyree. Somebody wanted to know about Tyree. Want to know what happened? Dude, it's like it was a total game. Total game. Yeah, I'm actively like looking for friends. And I met a woman. I'm really hoping she calls or I run into her again. At the prize on Thursday, Friday prize, and I got felt up in public on my afternoon stream in by her. You know, that's why, you know, as far as the trolls go, it's like, you guys can say anything you want about me. It's like you're painting a picture that nobody else is seeing, because that's not me. They see what I am. They see what I do. They hear me play. They hear what I got to say. And most of the feedback that I get from intelligent people is real positive. I hardly ever get anybody, challenge me intelligently about my positions. Hello, Leon. Welcome. People want to yell at me about my looks, my weight, call me shit I'm not. But nobody, I start talking about the Torah in relation to what Designers Project's doing in occupied Palestine, and there's fucking crickets. Once they run out of excuses, insults. Same thing with the gender critical people. I was like, they hardly ever come back at me with anything rational once I tell them what's real about being transgender or the transgender condition. They're like, if they don't have an excuse, if they don't have an insult, they got nothing else to say. Here's this Eliezer Nagorowski. He wouldn't even notice me if I hadn't said something to him. He was harassing a friend of mine, and she was bitching, and I stepped in, and let's hear. Let me read the exchange for you here. Here's where I nailed. I stepped in because this is where he came in and started getting my friend upset, getting all my friends upset with some bullshit. I call them stinky Zionist fishtails. History simply is ellipsis. That's ... I too would have liked a history where the first assassination attempt on Hitler was successful. ... Well, there's a good reason to elect permanent supreme president. Now, here's something very clearly that lots of people want, that the first assassination attempt on Hitler was successful. And Berman Supreme, one of his top campaign promises, in addition to free ponies for everybody, is that he's going to travel back in time and kill Hitler himself. So, we're entering into the early stages of the great clown car demolition derby 2020, and the demo clown car is filling up real fast. And the bozo in chief just made a big announcement this morning about his campaign kickoff. And what are we? 20 months away from the election. So anyway, back to what I was saying first. History simply is. I too would have liked a history where the first assassination attempt on Hitler was successful. The situation you refer to doesn't exist. Jews are indigenous to Israel. Well, no, Jews are, and nobody's trying to exterminate any minority here. Well, that's not true either. And my response to him was, the nation of Israel arose in Canaan. When they left, it was called Palestine. The people claiming to be indigenous to there are not nearly as closely related to the ancient Israelites than the people of the Zionist Project are trying to ethnically cleanse from occupied Palestine. So here somebody else comes in. Is there an official Zionist Project? News to me is, as is the notion that Palestinians and not Jews are indigenous to Israel. Funny. Google it. I'm a Kohen and was educated by an anti-Zionist rabbi, not some propagandist peddling stinky Zionist fishtails. The Jews returning are mostly descended from poor Bronze Age Indo-European mothers. This one's rolling on the floor, laughing out loud. A Kohen, you claim. Yes, the plural is Kohanim, but the singular is Kohen. As any Jew would know, you're neither a Kohen, nor a Kohen. You're a pretender, a poseur. And my question to him was, do you have any rational arguments? I don't like to waste bandwidth on infantile imbeciles. You wouldn't know rationality if it bit you in the ass. And that just revealed that he's one of them, like, obnoxious British Zios. And liars and imposters everywhere. Crickets. Insults or crickets? Okay, well, they're just that's a waste. Good evening, Lowry said hello to you. I bet I could beat any single-handedly with one hand tied behind you, but probably not. And I really don't want to get into any of that with anybody ever. I never did. Well, the claim that I'm actually making is that the whole history of the world has been run by these like cannibals for a long time. The modern Zionism started in America and with Adam Weishaupt in 1776. The Zionist project in occupied Palestine is just the end game. Same thing in Saudi Arabia. That's all. Go Google. Go Google. Here, let me just get you fucking links. Well, yeah, violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. Is what I was to get. Happy medium. There's a point of finding the greatest good for the greatest number with the least negative impact on anybody or anything. It should be the goal of the government. And industry, and that's where you know, industrial fascism is completely incompatible with egalitarian, you know, the authoritarian industrial fascism is completely incompatible with egalitarian indigenous culture and completely fucking harmful to the environment. And New York's going to say, no, fuck you, goodbye. Soon. We have like 12 years to phase out combustion energy capture technology before the planet starts reacting real badly. It's already reacting pretty badly. Yeah, cannibals. They feed on death. I mean, they might not actually eat the whole body, but they're feeding on the energy of death. And they turn it into a profit machine. You know, it's why there was no reason to expand the defense industry after World War II. And Dwight Eisenhower pushed for peacetime applications in military technology, and the best he could get out of it was the interstate highway system. He wanted to go out to the moon and under the ocean and everything, and they're cannibals. They're sucking. They feed on death. It's been going on for thousands of years. And what can I say besides that? Because I'm going to start sounding like I'm like raving. Let me get you a link for which one did I? There's a link to that that'll like really illuminate this for you. Yeah, that's some of it. That's a lot of it. Eisenhower struggled against the military-industrial complex just from the end of the war until he left office and warned us about it. And that's pretty much what got Kennedy killed, was like not going with the plan. And you know, if the vision of Kennedy and Eisenhower were worked on instead of all these dirty little bush wars they fought, we'd have 1 million people under the ocean, 100,000 people in outer space by now. Zionism and Wahhabism, the twin cancers of the Middle East. The summary is that it was Lord Balfour and Lord Rothschild that carved up the whole Ottoman Empire, fucked everything up. There were never any lines in the sand. And a lot of the borders just really messed up ancient migratory patterns of ethno-religious groups. You know, I tweeted something about that earlier today. Something related to that. You have deniers and alarmists on all issues. That's part of the plan, to just keep us divided and hating each other so that we don't know who's really fucking us over. And this is just the way they do it. It always has been. You know, they polarize the public to, you know, they're conditioning the public to be willing to commit mass murder on each other. But what was the Aldous Huxley quote about? Let me see who it was. It was about propagandists. Job is to dehumanize. You know, create words to dehumanize another. You know, to another people. This is has loaded yet? No. If there's anybody who would like to take over as my webmaster, I don't have much like budget to work with, but I do have a little, and I will give up a percentage of whatever income's generated to the person who like wants to take over that aspect of my business. Like for instance, I got a Patreon account, and I've never done much with it, and I haven't gotten anything for it. But I know that I think that paint my picture right, because we have music now too to push with it. Ariana's got a lot of CDs, and I want to put one out real soon. I mean, I have plenty of raw video to do that. I just need to compile something. Who'd like to take over my Patreon for me? I'll like. You know, how's this? Who wants 60% to the person who wants 70? I'll give you 70%. If you're good, you can have 70% of it for, you know, running the Patreon page. Yeah, see here's, yeah, this is kind of long, but it's comprehensive. Yeah, I'm not going to read it. It's way too long. I'll just read the introduction. It's the title of it's Zionism and Wahhabism, Twin Cancers of the Middle East and Their Veiled Origins. And it's from 2014 in something called All Things Culture. It's a fascinating, though rather grim, story spanning the First World War, the creation of the states of Israel, Iraq, Syria, and Saudi Arabia, and taking in Lawrence of Arabia, all the way to the fall of Gaddafi in Libya, the Syrian Civil War, and rise of the so-called Islamic State, among other things. It's a story of long-term manipulation, insidious indoctrination, and secret, almost mythical works of literature. These two ideologies, Wahhabism in Islam and Zionism, which is linked primarily to the Jewish religion, may seem like unrelated entities on the surface of it, but these two ideologies could be seen as largely responsible for much of the situation in the Middle East today. A situation that doesn't affect the Middle East, but as we've seen more and more since 9/11, affects the US, Europe, and the West, probably the entire world. These two ideologies are responsible for and bound up in decades, actually centuries, of violence, wars, suffering, and manipulation. These two ideologies are, and can be demonstrated, flip sides of the same coin. So that's a good read. What can you do to help, Israel? What kind of help are you offering? You want to my Patreon? Let me send me. You know, I'll give you 70%. If you can really turn some income there and do a, you know, show me what you want to do. I don't have the tools to. I don't know. I haven't been. I haven't seen any way that I could really present what I do effectively there, so that it would make people want to subscribe to it. I should have. I wonder if they can, if this thing shares to Instagram. No, that doesn't have to do it. Nope. So I want to, you know, I've been putting my fresh stone photos up to Instagram. Well, that's just, see, that's what I don't know. Here I am. What do you think? How do you think? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like I'm carrying some messages that need to be heard, and I have music and stones and jewelry that I'd like to sell. Well, yeah, recordings, art, etc. And yeah, what I need to, and we never got to do it. I need to edit some music and put it onto a CD. And I already left town before we got a chance to do that. But I got, you know, I do custom jewelry is basically where it's at. Is, you know, my focus on the stones is people who want them for like serious collections, especially for energy work or making jewelry. Am I able to do what myself? Oh, I edit the music? Not really. I should. I could probably figure it out. I'm a quick study. I haven't really figured out the studio software. I just need to cut choice segments out. I've checked out Etsy. I don't think that that's going to work well for me. What I want to do is expand on what I do at eBay. I've been at eBay for years, and I just need to be putting more. I need to be putting more of a store up on eBay than I do. You know, once in a while I get things I know I can auction and I'll put them up there. Otherwise, I'm mainly buying there. That's what I need to do is build my eBay store and actually put together the CD instead of talking about it. That needs to be on high on my priorities. But I need to be safe on the street. Some shit happened last night that just blew my whole fucking game. And I came home. The guy who said he was going downtown and would meet me at the Congress wasn't there. There was a drummer there that was, and we didn't click. So I went off to somewhere else. The tunnel was taken, so I went up on 4th Avenue to in front of O'Malley's parking lot, and some really weird drunk dude, really creepy dude, seriously creepy dude. I mean, it was probably that same Tyree dude. Wanted to take me home, offering me a piece of candy. Real creepy dude. And I mean, I could see him looking at my tits. He's staring at my tits. A really creepy dude. And I went home. Yeah, so I'm kind of like low on funds even this week. I got plenty of weed. For, you know, I shouldn't run me home. He wanted to give me a blowjob, and he didn't have no money to do it, and you know, because I played him a little bit, and really creepy dude, just totally blew my whole headspace. But it's a cute top. Nice top, huh? And it's almost if I suppose if I had like, you know, really proper underwear on, I could wear this without anything else, and without skirt or it's long enough to wear. If I had Mr. Willie tucked up, I could show off more leg. Like, you know, excuse me, all you people calling me decrepit, ugly old man. I know what's up. I'm okay with myself, and a lot of people give me compliments. And I'm starting to get people catching people's eye on the girls. Which, you know, there's things in a trans person's life that are meaningful to them. Like, you know, do people see me as a man or a woman? And more people are seeing me as a woman. It feels better that way. I creeped out. Oh my God, that guy was so creepy. That's the creepiest thing any man has ever done. No, it isn't. Gay guys have been creepier. And of course, the night that I decided I was going to come out was Leslie Cochran's second to last birthday party at Rita Maya in Austin. There were a whole mess of like young trans girls hanging out with a bunch of cis girls having a great time. I'm like, I gotta be like out of my mind. And I had already been like, no, I don't know. I've always had boobs. Like from the time I was 12, shit, they started like guys started picking on me about my boobs. So I'm there at this party, and God, gay guys are so fucking grabby. They're worse than like jocks. Gay guys, always that feel you up. I had this one guy at the party. It's just like he's talking to me, and he just like without even warning, he just like reached up and grabbed me by the boob. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I had this neighbor that like was a bottom. I mean, like really to the point of bloody butt kind of guy. He was constantly like coming to my house and hanging out, and I had, you know, we'd be watching TV, right? And I had a couch. I'd be on one end, and he kept keeping it over closer all the time, and I'd be like, no, man, I'm not like that. And so he's well, I got felt up by a cis girl with her that had permission. She asked, and I said, yes, please. And the gay guy just like didn't even warn me and grabbed it. You know, I'm not happy when cis girls do funky things to me either. Yeah, that was the difference. The cis girl asked, and so I got it on camera. She asked, and the gay guy was just standing there talking to me, and he's, you know, I'm not happy when the cis girls do weird shit to me without permission. You know, I get goosed all the time, and it's usually girls doing it. They'll come and twerk in my face. Yeah, right. Yeah, my neighbor talked me into going to a gay bar down on Cedar Springs in Dallas's neighborhood. Man, I had to keep my hands up and my butt to the wall. Constantly, everybody getting groped. You had, you know, a tight crowd, and they're like making sure they touch in all the right places. Yeah. So like I've been saying, it's I don't know, is it sappy sexual or demisexual I'm talking about? Somebody needs to like arouse me by letting me know they want to love me. Otherwise, you know, I love all humanity equally, and I hate my penis because it's not all right there for me in my head. It's not what my brain wants me to be doing. So that's where that's at. You know, as far as my sexuality and anybody accusing me of being like a child, MAP or any of that happy shit, that's where it's really at. I'm kind of asexual and agender because of it. All the sex I've ever had pretty much was initiated by the woman. And yeah, I joke about accepting money from men for blowjobs, but so what? You know, I'm transgender. There's a lot of trans women that are making a good living in the sex trade. So if I have an opportunity to, you know, $1,000 to cross these virgin lips, maybe I'll come off, you know, like development costs, and do it for 100 or two. You know, it's $200. You know, a good call girl, it's gonna cost you $200. But it's at least 1,000. I might auction it. I don't know. I was like really being crazy about it, because like, see, I grew up in the neighborhood. I had transgender sex workers for neighbors from the time I was a little kid. I was hanging out with two of them when I got out of college. And I've just always been around it because I busk. So it's right there. Wherever I am, Tampa, even by the colleges, where the transgender sex workers were. and so it's you know, yeah, on the one hand, it's a real issue with the slavery and what we call desperation prostitution, where like the kids get tossed out and they got nothing else to do but suck dick. And you got nowhere to go, you got nowhere to get there without sucking dick. That's bad, but there's a lot of more together trans women that make a good living off of it, really good living off of it. I don't know, if you're clean enough and interesting enough and want to take me out to dinner and all that and wine me and dine me and convince me to do all this, I'd do it for a couple $1,000 happily if somebody wants to do that. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I have the looks. I definitely don't have the physique for it yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I need to. I'm doing more walking and dancing. The reason I'm fat is I'm eating too much because I'm sitting behind my desk and doing very little but pounding keyboard, and I got to get away from that. I'm gonna get out every day and hit the street somehow, somewhere. I haven't been out today yet. I need to do it, and it's almost sunset. So let me see what time sunset is. Maybe I'll go out and I need another recommendation on something. It's camera. I want something that like I can wear on my arm or my head, or because I want to be able to walk around the studio rather than sit at my desk when I'm streaming and just talk about what I'm doing. I'm just sitting at my desk too much, especially when I'm doing like 2 hours of this shit and just sitting at my desk is a waste. A GoPro. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't been keeping since the last machine was blown up. I have not been keeping up with the hardware one little bit. So now it's like 10 years ago, 15 almost. Okay, well, they're a little pricey. Who wants to buy me one of these? You like my stream? These look like fun, but they're fucking pricey. I need some tobacco. I'll be right back. Okay, well, here's the Hero 7 in black or white for $399.99. But that looks like you got to hold it in your hand. I want something you can wear. Or I'm sure they all have like no, I don't want to see your fucking notifications, thanks. Okay, well here, I don't want all the rest why it did. It went they want to download their app on me. Oh, no wonder. It's like yes, I wanted to have another format for the page. I don't want to download their fucking application on my oh god. Do they have a phone number? Has anybody got a page for them that set up for a PC? This is a mobile page. It's too hard to handle on a PC. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Their sales and support. I'll call them up. Okay, let's see where we're going. The Hero 7. Now I guess you can wear these. The Fusion looks like something like yeah. The Fusion looks like something you can like put a strap on your arm or something for it. But now I can't. Oh, it's $600 fucking dollars. Oh sure. Oh, here's a $200 one. What do we got under 100? Yeah, it's got to be under 100. And oh, I've seen pictures of just furries. I've seen pictures of them guys before. Somebody was like trying to out them, I guess. I don't think they're offering the 3 today. Let's see what eBay has to say about that one. I'll let that resolve. What's cooking at eBay with the GoPro Heroes? Do they take good still shots? Because that's what I really want in the stream. I need the good stills. Here's a used Hero 5 for one. Waterproof would be nice because I ruined the camera fast and got in the works of the camera and fucked it all up. I need to score a still camera that can do video much more than I need something like this. You know any good ones like that? Because I'm not happy with okay. Oh, they're all, let's just show these. I scored. Thank you. We'll just put a watch on it. It's 3 days. It's got 4 bids on it, and it's got 6 days left. And it's $14.20 for the shipping. Let's see what else you got there. Well, how's the resolution frame by frame? I need really fine resolution and good color saturation for the stones. You know, the opals and the fire agate especially, and labradorite. I'm really sharp and good color. Well, see that one you can just snatch it. You know, we'll watch that. How long is it going to sit there? How long has it been? Oh, they got a lot of them. Are these refurbs? They're slightly enriched. Well, we'll watch that. That's a possibility. Can it stream? See that's the advantage of the phone cam, and the Samsung makes Samsung that streams. Can hook stream. Oh, it's got a 16 gigabyte card in it too. Oh, really? And it's 5 hours. I'm gonna snipe this bitch. Thank you. That looks like D1. Wow. That's gonna probably the end of the auction's probably gonna. It's got all this stuff. Wow. Holy shit. That's underwater housing for it. What's that? What's the thing that looks like a fire extinguisher? Wow. This go jump out of an airplane with this thing. That's yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna try and grab that. That's too cool. And you say that the resolution on the frames is good enough to. Oh, I don't want to watch a whole mess of them. Here's we'll watch. There's a. This one has a helmet included, so we'll look at that one. I have 6 days off too. No, this one with the helmet bundle, with the extreme sports bundle, and 6. But I'd probably go, if I have it to spend, I'd probably go 100. I'd probably go 150 on that, from the look of it. Well, certainly to 125. It's got underwater housing. I don't know. Well, I don't know if that's. I think it's just waterproof. I don't see any. I don't see any heavy gaskets on it like the scuba ones. This is really annoying. I think this lighter is finally like coming to the end of its life. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, I'm going to need to cut this off and focus on. As a matter of fact, I have. Oh, geez, I'm going to go. It's time for me to go and slap down a couple of Zionists. You know, all I got is insults and propaganda, and stupid questions and deflecting questions. No, it's whataboutism and fuck youism and Jews, because Jews. God told us we could. Oh, so anyway, thanks, Silverwolf. Let me just wrap up for anybody who's here for what the actual topic was. I am not a minor attracted person. I'm not attracted to anybody unless they're attracted to me. And anything I'm being accused of is either completely untrue or is a distortion of what really happened. There are many imposters, many imposters, and now there are also clips that they're making of me saying things that I didn't really say by taking words and patching them back together. Demand truth, demand proof, demand verification of anything anybody tells you about me, or just totally ignore it, please. So thanks for coming. Happy day. Bye-bye.